Hello, I'm Edith Hall. I am Professor of Classics at Durham University.
And I'm Arlene Holmes Henderson. I'm also Professor of Classics, also at Durham University.
And over the last year, we've been developing a course teaching about ancient Greek moral philosophy, that's ethics, that's how you live your life, in several prisons. It's a course we've already been teaching in secondary schools and to the general public. We are delighted that you are interested in doing this course with your teacher. We met your teacher at a training session in January of this year, 2026. Why would we return to the ancient world, to people who lived 2,000 and more years ago, to help develop our life skills? Well, the answer here is that the ancient Greeks were the first ever community, civilization, to develop serious philosophy, which was about how should we live our lives, right? So they thought about morality and choices and decisions and friendship and all the things that are most important in our lives from quite an analytical point of view, and came up with easily learned, not exactly rules, but principles that you can apply and formulae for getting things right, for example, when you're trying to persuade people.
So we've taught this course in several prisons, both in the male estate and the female estate. And a lot of people came to the course on the first day saying, I don't know anything about the Greeks and Romans. I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to keep up. A lot of people said, I don't really know what to expect from this course. It sounds a bit different to the other education options on offer, but not really sure what I'm going to learn. And we want to start by saying we expect that nobody has any prior knowledge of the Greeks and Romans or philosophy or Aristotle. We welcome everybody who comes with an open mind, willing to engage with the material and to contribute. We want you to be talking to each other and to us and to your teachers about this course, as long as you come willing to learn and willing to share your ideas with others. That's all that we ask. And the feedback from the courses that we've run in prison so far has been really positive. A lot of people have said that they have left the course feeling empowered to approach things in their life differently, maybe in the short term on the wing or in the long term after release. This course gives you new ways of thinking. They happen to come from the ancient world, but we hope that you'll find they're absolutely applicable to life in the 21st century.
So what was so special about this particular period in ancient history that produced this new thinking about how should we live? I mean, the human race has been around for about 100,000 years, that's all. And for the first 90,000 or so of them, we were all nomads running around the planet and just shooting little rabbits and resting in caves. It was only in about 10,000 BC or even later that we started settling down in cities and farming. And that's really called the first revolution in human history. And there have been 6 of them. And counting back from modernity, number 6 is the digital revolution. It's the internet, it's our modern world, and we already know how fast it's changing. The one before that, the 5th, was the Industrial Revolution, which is really in the 18th and 19th centuries, when factories and machines and steam power and telephones and trains all happened. Before that, it was back in the 15th century with printing. But the one between printing and farming happened between about 600-700 BC and about 400 AD. It's about 1,000 years, and that was the Greco-Roman world. And what is miraculous about what happened in about 700 to 600 BC is that the Greeks stopped thinking that everything was caused by gods. Okay, so instead of saying Zeus is angry, there's lots of thunder and lightning, so we've done something wrong and the gods are angry, they said, oh no, there must be some kind of air pressure building up or things in the sky like water and hot air colliding, which is producing this. In medicine, if somebody was ill, they stopped saying it's because they've offended the god Apollo that they're dying of this cancer. they started saying, no, what's happening is that certain kinds of clusters of cells are multiplying and in the wrong place. A scientific outlook arose. The gods were thoroughly diminished in their role in human life, and that produced what I call a secular, so non-religious morality. If happiness isn't guaranteed by religion, then how can we as humans set about finding happiness? And lots of philosophers sprang up, especially in the 5th century before Christ and the 4th. That's when most of the really great original thinkers stem from. The one who we think is by far the most useful, and that's why the course is really expanding his ideas, is Aristotle. And I always bring this bust along when I'm teaching this course so he can preside over us. And later I'll be telling you more about Aristotle.
So we hope that you're going to enjoy this course. We hope that you're going to engage with it. We also hope that you're going to provide feedback at the end. We have really valued all the feedback we've had from learners so far. They have made comments, suggestions, which have positively impacted both the content and the delivery of the course. And the course is not in its final state. We would love to be able to take on board your suggestions and your ideas of ways in which it can be improved. So please don't feel that you have to be nice and not say anything negative. We want that constructive criticism so that next time in the next prison environment, it's the very best that it can be.
Please do. This is a collaborative and evolving initiative.